Everyone, this is Tell the Truth Radio, the World Series edition. I'm your host, Ron Fitch. Uh, I'm going to tell you the truth of why the Dodgers won to beat the Tampa Bay Rays. Everybody, I'm late to the party because I was up late talking to a lot of West Coast people, making calls, congratulating them. So I need a day of rest a little bit. So I decided to do this at nighttime, my show. I'm going to break down why the Dodgers won, something that wasn't mentioned because everybody's talking about what the manager Cash did. But yeah, it was a bad move, but I'm going to break down further where it really hurt the Rays. But I want to congratulate the Dodgers, and I'm going to tell you why they won and the heart they showed, the heart of a champion, deservedly so. In this game, they're up 3-2. Arozarena does what he does. He's like Reggie Jackson. He's a home run. The Rays get up 1-0. Blake Snell from there on was unhittable, and he really worked his breaking pitches. He worked his fastball. He spotted. He was throwing pitches that weren't hittable. And then the Curry would throw the curveball with 2 strikes. It totally befuddled the Dodgers, who were a very good fastball hitting team. And he pitched in reverse. And it was a brilliant strategy, and he was cooking. He only threw 73 pitches, and he was outstanding. And then, of course, everybody talks about this fateful bottom of the 6th. And this is where I totally disagree with Coach Cash. A lot of people do. He comes out after an Austin Barton single. And to me, the way he was pitching, he could have got out of the jam. He was good enough to go, and even though he hadn't gone more than 6 all year, he was so good, I guess, the adrenaline, being down 3-2 and a chance to even the series, he was good enough to at least go 8 and have Castillo finish the 9th inning off, and you save your bullpen. And that might have saved the Rays. And on sidebar, prayers out to Justin Turner, who had contacted the coronavirus. That would have been complicated things a lot if the Dodgers would have lost, but they didn't. And this is why this fateful 6th inning, where after the Corey Seager, after that happens, after Austin Barnes gets a single, Mookie Betts doubles to left field. Mookie Betts is happy to see. Snell had him befuddled. Mookie Betts doubles to left field, and off of their reliever, Neil Anderson, when Neil Anderson didn't have it. Neil Anderson's pitching a lot. After Mookie Betts' signal, also bar second, third, Neil Anderson throws a wild pitch. So it ties the game. And it was almost like 86 almost with the Mets and the Red Sox when that wild pitch came and the game got tied. The Dodgers relaxed. The Dodgers said, now we got this. Because if you were the guy at inning, if Snell would have stayed in and got an inning, Tampa Bay might have won, and it would have been a problem for Game 7. But it wasn't. So now this is why Mookie Betts was so valuable to the Dodgers. Corey Seager hits a ground ball deep in the hole at second. No, well, he hits a ground ball, second baseman gets it. He's drawn in infield. Mookie Betts breaks. His break was so perfect. He ends up scoring. That was one of the biggest plays in Dodger history, his ability to take off from third and to throw to home was safe because of how quick in the jump that Mookie Betts got. So it's 2-1. So they take a 2-1 lead all the way to the bottom of the 8th, and I'm going to tell you why they did. The Dodger bullpen, after the rookie Goslin was a little shaky, the Dodger bullpen, from Florio to Alex Wood, who had 3 strikeouts, Pedro Baez, 1 strikeout, Victor Gonzalez, 3 strikeouts, Gratterall got only 1 hit and got the 3 outs, and then Julio Urias, who was unhittable, 4 strikeouts, 2 in the 3rd inning. He finished like Mariano Rivera finished. He put the closing touches on the game, and the Dodgers ended up winning. And I want to show y'all Blake Snell in the bottom of the 6th when the manager came out. I'm Blake Snell, and he was like, no, wait a second. I know the manager's not coming out here taking me out. No, you're not. No, no, he's not. He's coming out here to talk to me. He's coming out. He's coming out here to talk to me. I know he's not coming out here to take me out again. You got to be kidding me. What? He went to the bench, and then when the Dodgers took the lead, he had this look like. Then when the Dodgers won and got the last out, I saw Blake Snell through the mask. He was like, just looking at his manager like, you got to be kidding me. And yeah, Cash cost the Tampa Bay Rays the game with that move. And then when he did that move, I said, they got him. Dodgers got him. And even Bell just said, I was happy to see Snell go, because Snell was going to, I understand you have the sabermetrics. This is where you got to go seat of the pants sometimes to go along with the sabermetrics and all this other stuff. I know you got your little card, and the card says take him out. But common sense said, this is the one time, keep him in there as long as you can. If you give up a hit to Betts, okay. But Betts was befuddled by the way the breaking balls, and then he snuck in the fastball on Betts, and Betts wasn't able to adjust. And he could have went and got that little. It was and the two hits he gave up were soft hit singles, so he wasn't giving up anything hard. They just couldn't even see the ball, the Dodgers. But once that happened, the Dodgers like, oh, here we go. They were like, and I heard this analogy. They were sitting there like a pack of coyotes, just waiting for that bullpen, waiting for them to come in and do what they had to do. And bam! As soon as that happened, the light came on. And when you give a team that's been desperately dying to win a championship, that hasn't won in 32 years, an opportunity to close, they're going to close, and they closed. And the Dodgers are champs because they picked up Mookie Betts. The acquisition of Mookie Betts is the reason why they're champs right now. He only batted .268, but he did everything else. Corey Seager's the MVP because he had 2 home runs and he batted .400 in this series. Overall in the playoffs, he was the MVP of the LCS. He batted .328 with 8 homers and 20 RBIs. Last year, I blamed him for the Dodgers losing to the Nationals. He was terrible, swinging for the fences. He shortened his swing. He hit homers organically because he was making contact. He saw the ball. He hit every pitch. He hit the breaking balls. He hit the fastballs. He was very patient. He took walks when he had to. The Dodgers play discipline was good. They struck out a lot in the losses, but for the most part, their play discipline in this playoffs was great. They went against the norm where you're just swinging for the fences, and they really played small ball, and they took pride in that. Turner batted .320. Max Muncy batted .318. Max Muncy has some big hits, and he hit some long home runs, and he hit the dagger home run. And then playoff Jock Peterson hit .400, batted .400. And I'm going to go now to the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. This is why the Tampa Bay Devil Rays lost the series. It was not Cash's decision to take out Snell. That was a big one. The biggest reason that Tampa Bay Devil Rays lost this World Series and it ruined their momentum was that steal at home, that dumb, and I mean stupid, steal at home by Margot, who had a good series. He batted .300, tried to steal at home when it was a 3-2 game, and the Dodgers were up 3-2, and Kiermaier was at the play. If he gets a single on Kershaw, maybe Kershaw comes out and everything goes haywire, because there was so much pressure on the Dodgers could have got tight, and Tampa could have won. Now you got Blake Snell with up 3-2 pitching a gym, and you keep him in longer because you're thinking you got your bullpen for Game 7, and Tampa could have won this series. They lost the series everybody's talking about the Snell decision. They lost the series. The fact that the bats went silent after that steal, after that steal at home that was unsuccessful, psychologically, it took the air out of their sails. They scored 1 run in 15 innings. And I looked at their batting averages, 111, 115. Of course, I believe Arozarena was over 400. He was just amazing. But the other players, Diaz was good, but the other players but even Arozarena and Yandy Diaz went silent after his home run, and they didn't perform after they won 8-7. They lost their feeling of we think we could win. They were almost resigned to losing after that steal at home didn't work, and then Muncy hits that dagger home run to go up 4-2. It was 1-0 the following game, this game 6, but they didn't get any more runs. Their momentum was gone. So all the Dodgers had to do was score. That was it. And they scored. That was it. And they did what they had to do. And I want to address the idiot fan base from the Giants and the Astros, because I didn't see any other team saying this stupid stuff. There was no asterisk to this championship. I understand it's a 60-game season, but it was a virus, you idiots. It's a virus. There's nothing any other team could do about a virus. They had to shut it down and play the 60-game schedule. And another reason, you playing game after game after game. There's no breaks like normal playoff series. Game after game after game after game after game you're playing. Okay? And your pitching staff gets taxed. And you have to go through a grind. And they went through the grind and they came out on top. And another reason, they got cheated in 2017. They would have been champs had the Astros played it fair and square without the transmitters. So, and the Astros fans got a lot of nerve. They're hypocritical, they're idiotic, and they don't have a clue. You should never speak on it. You should be the most quietest fan base in all of sports, all over the world, including rugby and Australia rules football. You should be the most quiet fan base, not saying anything. And I can talk. I mean, my Cubs won in 2016 fair and square. And I challenge, if an Astro fan has a problem, wants to make fun of my team won a real fair and square championship in 2016. Yeah, crickets. What's your response to that? Crickets. And shame on the Giants. You did win 3 championships in this millennium, but you should keep your mouth shut. You know why you should keep your mouth shut? Because if it was you and you came out of the bubble, beating the Dodgers and then winning against the Tampa Bay Devils, you'd be running your mouth like crazy, talking about you own the Dodgers. So please, shut up with that. Miss me with that nonsense. And you got a problem with that? My Cubs beat you. My Cubs finished your dynasty in 2016 if you got a problem with that. Yeah. Yeah, you quiet now, right? Okay. Hate to have to address that, but I did. Okay. Dodgers are young. I actually wanted to do a special segment totally dedicated to Clayton Kershaw. He was outstanding this postseason. He alleviated and eliminated all the past postseason demons. He had some good postseason performances. It's been mixed, and some of it's been bad. He gave up the homer last year to Soto in the Nationals when he was in reliever. He was just downtrodden after the game. I watched him. I was so happy to watch him celebrate. He's a good guy. All the Dodgers talk about how happy they were for him. He had 4 wins and 1 loss, under 3 ERA, 32 strikeouts. Just amazing. He pitched with talent. Game 2. He pitched with guile. Game 5. He pitched game 1, he pitched with talent. Game 5, he pitched with guile and guts to get out of a tough situation. And I'm so happy for this man. And it's just that monkey's off his back. It's just, I couldn't be happier for a nice guy. He just talked about the team. He didn't even talk about it. But his legacy is set. He's the best pitcher in this millennium. From 2000 on, he's been the best pitcher since he started in the major leagues. This particular, because the first early part you could do Randy Johnson, Pedro, and those 2 guys, but really the last 13 years he's the best. No one's been better. He's been the best in regular season. Now he's got that postseason championship. He's got that great performances. In '95, Greg Maggs had some great performance. He was terrible in the postseason, and that helped his legacy. And now he's one of the all-time great Dodgers. He's one of the all-time great pitchers. He is set now. Now I can never say he's not a big game pitcher because he was big time this year. Fan and fans of I think the Cardinals and the Braves are going to be your main threats. I got to see if the Mets get Cohen as their owner and they kind of get their culture changed a little bit. They have talent. I don't know about the Phillies. I don't trust the Phillies. I love Girardi. San Diego's a good team. I don't Machado. I got to be aware. He's a complete lunatic. When your star player is a lunatic, that's going to hurt you a little bit. But they got a nice young team. That's a nice rivalry, the Dodgers and Padres. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to going out there on the West Coast to do my show. I was able to go out there and do a report. But finally, Tampa, they have to. Cash has got to let the pitchers go longer in a normal year, and don't tax the bullpen. And you got to hope you can. It's hard to get back after you lose a championship. The Cleveland Indians haven't been back. The following year, they're picked to go back, and then the Yankees beat them. So you might run into a more seasoned White Sox team. The Yankees might finally get some heart and beat you because they got a lot of talent. So this was the year. Sometimes when you got opportunity to close, you got to close. If you don't close, sometimes you don't get another chance. Oh, we'll be back. They got the pitching. Maybe you get injuries. Maybe you lose players of free agents. Maybe you don't get the breaks you got. So, there's an opportunity. It's an opportunity lost. You got to hope you get back. You get back. Now you can't. If you got a starting pitcher that hot, in your mind, I can't do what I did before. You better hope you get another chance. But anyway, I thought it was a good year. Major League Baseball did a good job of keeping players in the bubble. I don't know how Turner got the coronavirus. They're investigating. I hope all is well. I hope and pray no one on the Dodgers or the Rays or the fans is contagious and gets the corona. And once again, I just want to congratulate the Dodgers showing heart after all those failures. They just stuck with it. And if you're a team that keeps going to playoffs and not winning, learn from the Dodgers. Stick with it.